Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the second half of GMK Saturday. I'm Lily Wu. Well, I know that most of you want to know what the weather is going to look like, so let's get on over to meteorologist Tanner Swift for that. Tanner?
Well, good morning, Lily, and good morning to the rest of you. We have been dealing with some slick spots, especially on the bridges and elevated roadways across Wichita probably for the last hour or so. We had some rain overnight. The roadways were wet, and as the temperature dropped just below freezing, those elevated surfaces froze, kind of catching some people off guard. We do have some sunshine out there, and the temperature is starting to respond. We're up to 33 degrees at the airport. If you look very closely, there's Kellogg right there, and it looks like traffic moving by Kellogg pretty nicely right now. As we take a look at the temperatures around the rest of the metro using our weather bug network, we're already up to 34 degrees in Mays, 34 also in El Dorado. So again, where we have those slick spots on the bridges and roadways, that will be a thing of the past probably over the next 30 minutes or so, and things will really start to improve. 31 right now in Salina. It's 28 in Hutch, 30 right now for you folks out in Great Bend. Here's a look at our day planner. After we get done with a few slick spots this morning, it's actually going to turn out to be a pretty nice day, up to 38 degrees by 10 a.m. I think we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine today, 43 by the noon hour. A few more clouds as we go into the afternoon, but a fairly mild temperature right around 48 degrees. Our next shot of winter weather starts to move into western Kansas with some heavy snow as we go into tonight and the second half of the weekend. Another look at the forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Tanner. Well, the Emergency Accident Reporting Plan, or ERP, is in effect citywide. Now, several accidents were reported between 6:30 a.m. and 8 this morning. Other parts of the country are also experiencing the ice. It's making driving a challenge in places like Huntsville, Alabama. But back here in Wichita, we want to know what it's looking like on the roads. KAKE's Brian Ramsdale joins us live with continuing coverage of the winter weather.
Lily, we're live outside of the Dillons here at Central and Mays Road. We just actually passed over Kellogg just a second ago, and traffic was actually shut down up there. We saw at least 3 accidents on that overpass. Now, there was enough moisture that fell overnight that it caused a little bit of a slick spot on the overpasses. And like I've been telling you all morning, it's been the overpasses that have been the problem. Now, back out here live, we're going to continue following all of this throughout the morning, and we'll be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook because we're pushing out photos and alerts there. Right now, we're live in West Wichita. I'm Brian Ramsdale, KAKE News.
Thank you, Brian. Well, a cemetery controversy in Kingman County after residents learned their local leaders cut down all their trees. This happened at the Waterloo Cemetery about 25 miles west of Wichita. The local township board had the cemetery trees removed. Board members Gary Hess tells us some trees were rotten and growing over graves, but others who have grave plots there say the trees weren't in bad shape and are upset because there was no warning of the removal.
Yeah. I think most people, especially people that had family graves here, I'm sure would rather have had the trees left. If they were causing a problem, that's one thing, but I failed to see what problem they were causing.
Board member Hess says the township wasn't being malicious about the tree removal and didn't know how sentimental the trees were to some people. Well, the number of farms across Kansas is declining. A new report shows Kansas had 800 fewer farms last year compared to 2013. KAKE's Ben Jordan takes a closer look at the numbers and explains what farmers say is a much bigger concern.
For many Kansans, it's no secret the state has been following the national trend. Farms here are getting bigger and the number of farmers is getting smaller.
It's just the farmers are disappearing. That's probably the biggest thing there.
Sedgwick County Farm Bureau President Max Jaden says that's why hearing about 800 fewer farms, or roughly 1% of all Kansas farms, is not a surprise.
The acreage is still going to be farmed. It's just going to be farmed by fewer people.
Jaden calls the recent Ag Department's report misleading. He says there are 3 main factors that lead to the slide. First, this report includes very small farms.
What constitutes a farm by that survey or those statistics is if it produces $1,000 of income.
Second, retirements. The average age of farmers in Kansas is approaching 60 years old.
Those acres that we farmed get absorbed by someone else who's already farming. So basically the farms get bigger.
And lastly, urban development. He says the overall picture for Kansas farming is really good right now. but he does worry about a bill currently going through the legislature that would drastically increase property taxes for farmers.
They're looking at the value of the land, but it will actually force it to decrease because of the insane increase in property taxes that they want to implement throughout the state.
He says he fears if it turns into law, the 800 fewer farms from last year will only multiply in years to come. In Wichita, Ben Jordan, KAKE News.
Well, the government counted 61,000 farms across Kansas last year. While the number of farms is down, the size of the average Kansas farm is up to 750 acres. Well, some powerful punches have come and some are expected to come. Here's a look at what's trending today. A powerful cyclone ripped through Australia's northeast, causing damage and flooding. Cyclone Marcia was a Category 5 with wind gusts of up to 180 miles per hour. Marcia passed over small towns across the east coast of Queensland on Friday, causing damage to more than 500 homes and 60,000 homes lost power. Thankfully, no one was injured. Thousands of people evacuate from one of the world's tallest residential buildings. The fire broke out in the Torch Tower in Dubai. The building has 79 floors and high winds caused the fire to spread quickly. Police on the scene had no immediate reports of deaths or injuries. It's been 50 years since the death of civil rights leader Malcolm X. Hundreds of people are expected to attend the anniversary celebration in Harlem today. Malcolm X was shot to death in 1965. He was a passionate advocate of self-respect and self-reliance. You can join in on the conversation by following KAKE News on Twitter and liking us on Facebook.